First at 6, another fire at the city dump, and residents say they're sick and tired of it.
Plus, shifting opinion. A cabinet minister says more Bahamians are willing to take a chance on gambling. And bad precedent. The Christian Council hits out at government's move to regulate gaming. First at 6 begins now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. And now, first at 6. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Hello and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight. First at 6, I'm Andrew Knowles. A familiar nuisance erupts again at the city dump on Howell Road, much to the dismay of area residents. Thick black smoke filled the air as the fire raged on, creating health and safety concerns for many. Fire Chief Superintendent Walter Evans says it was shortly after 7 this morning when a team of officers and fire personnel were alerted about the blaze and dispatched to the scene. It was there they discovered that a mountain of tires that had been separated from the rest of debris on the eastern end of the dump was on fire. This after officers assisted in putting out another blaze at the dump just last night. Superintendent Evans says despite some challenges, they were able to contain the fire.
The fire is pretty much contained. There's been a fire break which has been created by heavy-duty machines here from the Department of Environmental Health. They've created a fire break. The challenge that we may encounter has been that of the elevation and the wind. And so our principal concern is really to ensure that the fire does not, what we call jump, it doesn't move from this area where it's at now to another area, which would pose even to a greater difficulty or a greater challenge.
Deputy Director for the Department of Environmental Health Services, Thomasina Wilson, says there are some serious health concerns, but as it stands, there's not much that they can do.
Yeah, it's blanketing some nearby areas, but there's nothing we can do about that because of the high breezes right at this point, and when they're shifting over into the northern section of the island, so they just have to bear with us. But it's nothing we can do about that at this point. It's a lot of oils and petroleum and stuff in tires, and so it's nothing we can do about that with regards to trying to reduce the toxicity of the smoke. Yes, this is intense. This is intense. Anytime you have a rubber fire like this, it is intense. It'll take at least 3 to 5 days to get it's contained, but to get it actually out. What we're doing now is soaking from the bottom because it's on a slope, and the area that it's in is on the slope. We're soaking water from the bottom, and it will eventually burn itself out. Hopefully it will burn itself out in a few days. So when you say
State Minister for Finance, the Honorable Michael Halkitis, says public opinion has changed since the 2013 gaming referendum due to more information about the size of web shops and their impact on the banking sector being made available. Bahamians overwhelmingly rejected last year's poll. Despite this, the gaming minister announced plans to present a proposal to Cabinet aimed at regularizing web shops by July 1. Minister Halkitis spoke to ZNS about the fear of possible repercussions from the Christian community, who has been adamantly opposed to the issue. However, Minister Halkitis says he expects dialogue to continue.
Certain elements of the Christian community have come out in opposition. On the other end, you have certain elements who have come out in support, and other elements who have remained neutral, or who their position is, they have no strong opposition to it. And so during this is the early March, as we move towards regularization, we expect that there would be more exchanges, that there would be more expression of views.
Considering the public's shifting views on the issue and the government's needs for funds, Minister Halkitis added that consideration will now be given to how the government will move forward with handling web shops in the interest of the country.
Since the referendum, I think there has been and more information has come to the public. There has been in some quarters softening of views, I would say, and so there'll be a lot of time to have that discussion on what form regulation would take, etc. And I think as this Prime Minister has always done, he would seek the views of all quarters and seek to come up with a solution that everybody can live with.
Meantime, the Christian Council says it remains unhinged in its opposition to the legalization of gambling. This as government has announced plans to table legislation that would cause for web shops to be regularized by July 1. Council President Reverend Ranford Patterson believes government's intention to move forward with the legislation represents a shot in the foot of democracy.
What will convince Bahamian people to go to the polls to support another referendum if at the end of the day they're not sure as to whether or not it's going to be upheld? I think it's setting a bad precedent for our country and for our democracy.
ZNS News also took to the streets to get a reaction to government's plans to legalize web shop gaming.
I don't think that the gambling situation is a good thing for the Bahamas. But if they happen to put it here and they abide by it, the people of the Bahamas go along with the program, I guess we ain't got no other choice but to settle for the web shops and them.
God give all us choice. We have choices in life. So give the people their choice.
I feel as if it should have happened a long time ago.
It's a good idea because we are Bahamians, right? And we go to states and gamble. So if you're home in your own town, I think if you feel like gambling, you can gamble. I don't say I want to do it every day, but now and then I feel like spinning or buying a piece of them. I don't see nothing wrong with doing that.
I don't think something that's wrong should ever become legal. As long as something is wrong, we're always gonna do it. But when you decide to make a wrong become a right, then I think it's something wrong.
Still ahead for us tonight, major changes on tap for BEC. Find out how it will impact your light bill. You're watching First at 6.